Okay, hello everyone. Back to opening my mail again today. Not too much to do, but a few interesting things I hope. I think there might be an item for repairing here, and there should also be an item for the workshop. Anyway, let's get started. So, to my recollection, these two go together, so let's get them opened. I've already torn this one. So what we've got here is a box full of these, which are wearer tools, however you pronounce that. And these are Hex Spinners, so they're for small nuts. Now I do actually already own a set of these, but these are metric ones, and they go from 2mm up to 5mm. Whereas this is actually a set of 8 SAE, so imperial ones essentially. So of course in the US you're not going to have any problems getting SAE nut drivers, but or little nut spinners, but in the UK it's a bit more of a problem. Now I chose these particular ones because of one feature that they have, which is this. That is a really long socket for a very small screw, and it's the same on these very, very small ones. So this one is a 3/32, and but it's still got about 1 inch of depth to take the actual bolt, the bit of bolt sticking out. So sometimes you get these and they're a bit shallow, and so if there's too much bolt sticking out you can't use them. So these are quite nice and long, and I like the make. I've got a load of the other tools as well. They've got the spinny bit on the end, nice grip, nice build quality, very consistent. So yeah, so here's some hung on my wall at the moment, and those are all various screws. These are ESD screwdrivers, the yellow ones, and we've got Torx and Phillips and posi drives and funny triangular ends and all sorts of things on there, and there's another set of nut drivers. So I will be expanding my collection on the wall and going for a different solution to hang them. Okay, I said I thought that these two parcels actually went together. And that's because there's some more wearer tools in here. And these are also nut spinners. Obviously somewhat more sizable. So we'll pick this one out just for starters. So this is a 5mm nut spinner. It's not huge on the end, but what's particular about these is that they have a very long hollow shaft. So this has 90mm of actual depth for the thread to go into. So if I find something very small and thin, so we can see that we could put that over something and unscrew, despite the fact there could be quite a long thread. So this is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it ranges from 5mm all the way up to the beefy one here, which is 13mm, and they've all got a 90mm deep recess for whatever we've got to put in them. So very useful little tools. Nut spinners are always really handy, very kind of good. They give a good purchase. They really speed up servicing and things like that. No idea what this is. Still no idea what this is. Got a piece of paper. Oh yeah, I do know what this is. Wow, I ordered this a long time ago if I recall correctly, but anyway, here it is. So this is a pair of pliers. What's particular about them is these are parallel chain nose pliers. So if we look at the jaws on these, you can see that they always remain parallel, unlike something like this, where the jaws are not parallel, of course, but they still close up. With this, the jaw remains parallel throughout its length as it closes. And also it's essentially got a double ratchet effect, so its grip is very, very high indeed. Now these ones are what are called chain nose, and hopefully you can kind of see the shape of them just here. So in some ways they are similar to snipe nose pliers or long nose pliers, but yeah, they taper down to a narrower position at the front. But they do have two very flat faces. They're not serrated faces. Don't know if you can see that very clearly, but they're just smooth faces. They're 140mm chain nose pliers. The particular company, Cook and Colson or something like that, they actually make about 10 different shapes on the top here. So from flat through to snipe nose, through to double snipe nose, through to bending pliers and all sorts of things. These are often used by jewellery manufacturers and clock makers, watchmakers, that sort of stuff, because you can hold things in them securely without actually scuffing or marking, unlike one of these, where in actual fact there's only one sort of point of contact, as is vividly demonstrated by the fact that it just moved. So there we go. Helpful to have a pair of those kicking around. I think this might be for the workshop as well. Yeah, okay. Anyway, they're round nose pointy pliers. Not sure the longest to call them a snipe nose, but they're okay. And they're quite large. They're a bit large for the electronics lab generally, but what I find, and I use these ones normally, you can kind of see the difference in scale, but just from time to time I find myself stealing a pair of these out of the metalworking shop, so I just wanted something a little bit bigger. So these are 160mm pliers. Okay, this is more interesting stuff. So if I'm right, this should be an item that's coming in for repair, or possible repair. Okay, cool, I've got it. Goodness. So what have we got here? We've got a Technics tuner, which apparently doesn't work. My understanding from this is it's actually the display that's the main problem. Plug in. Okay, so my understanding, as I say, is that the display is faulty. However, I'm going to try and just zoom in there. So I don't know if that is visible, but there is the very, very faintest display on there, and it says 87.5 FM. So I don't know off the top of my head whether this is a LED or what in here, but I can say that there is actually some very, very ultra faint display, so all might not be lost. For those interested, there is the back of it. So this is just a, yeah, that's the AM aerial there. No remote control with it, of course. I don't even know if it takes a remote control. I expect it does. Anyway, that can go on the ever-growing pile of things to be repaired. Up next, we've got the big box. It could be a pair of shoes for all I know, really, but all being well. It will be an item that I've been trying to get for quite a while. Yes, I'm trying to save the bubble wrap. Often the cost of repairing a piece of equipment is completely outstripped by the cost of putting it in the post. Have I given it away yet? No. Oh, still can't get in. You have to be cautious now not to damage the equipment itself. Okay, so unfortunately it hasn't got the stand with it, but here it is. This is a Key 3220 programmable current source. So I've been looking for one of these for quite a while. This one's loaded BP solar, and haven't seen one for quite a while at the price that I was willing to pay. Now this is supposed to be working, maybe. Okay, fairly large. Okay, 10 volts compliance limit. Okay. 1 times 10 to the 6 minus 6. Let's do 1.0000 and that to the 3. So controls and everything look like they're probably doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, and there we go. So 1 milliamp set, 0.996 according to this. So I'm not wildly unhappy with that. So I haven't attempted to calibrate this or anything like that, of course, but initially, yeah, we seem to be okay. Turn the output off and set this to 2 milliamps. Output on 1.997, so that's fine. I don't, you know, 3 on there. It's probably multimeter error rather than anything else. Let me see if I can find a more expensive multimeter to plug in. Milliamps. DC current. Okay, so I've connected this up to my 6.5 digit Keithley, and it reckons that it is 2.0038, so that is 0.015% out. So not so bad really. Let's try something slightly more interesting. 10 milliamps, just enter that, and 10.015, so 0.015% error on that. So overall that looks pretty good. I think it can perhaps do with a little bit of fan maintenance, and it probably does need calibrating, but it's in pretty good nick overall. It's a shame it hasn't got a stand. I might be able to fabricate something for that. And yeah, I guess I'll be doing a quick video to just calibrate this and put it into service in the lab. Great. So anyway, that's the end of the mailbag today. Hope you enjoyed that. Quick look at this meter. Obviously an item for repair. A few tools for the lab. Nothing too exciting this time, but I thought it was about time to open some of the mail that I've been letting build up for a few days. Let you see what was what. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.